going to be doing what's called throwing off the hump. I'm going to throw a small pot, a little bottle, and I like to throw little bottles in series, in groups. It's fun to work that way. And so what I'm doing first is I've put a larger lump of clay on the wheel, but I'm going to make a very small bottle. So I'm just centering a small lump at the top of the larger lump of clay, because that's what I'm going to work with. And just like the process for throwing anything that starts with a basic cylinder, I'm opening a hole in the middle of the piece. And then I'm going to open it up just a little bit to create the bottom of the bottle. I throw with a sponge because I like to be able to add water consistently to the piece, so I just keep a sponge in my right hand as I'm throwing. First, I'm starting out with a basic cylinder shape. And then I'm using more pressure with my interior fingers to press the shape out, and then when I want to neck back in, I'm putting more pressure with my fingers on the outside. Once I have the bottom of the shape pretty much as I want it, then I start to neck in at the top with my fingers. I'm just gently pressing on the clay from the shoulder of the piece on up. As you press in and neck in the clay this way, it thickens the clay in that area. So you have to go back in and pull up the clay, because if it's too thick, you're going to get ripples and twists in it. I'm also going to cut off a little bit at the top. I've got an irregular top going. That pushing in and pulling up process creates irregularities, so I just like to cut that part off and get it out of the way. Now I'm just pressing with my fingers on either side. To gently neck in the piece. And now, since I've thickened it, I'm going to thin it out. As you neck it in more and more, you have to then make a determination as to what you want the top rim of the bottle to look like. So I'm actually cutting off a little bit, smoothing over it a little bit with my fingers and the sponge. And as the neck gets skinnier and skinnier, you start using your pinky instead of your other fingers to be able to get into that small area. I use a stick tool with a curved end on it, and I'm going to make a little line here. Sometimes I make a line or two lines that define where I put the glaze. Sometimes I'll do a darker glaze on the top of the piece and then something different on the bottom. I also use this end of the tool. I'm going to make a cut under the piece. I'm going to kind of put my finger at the top here to sort of steady it a little bit and make a cut under here to shape the bottom area of the piece a little bit more. Do a little bevel at the bottom, and then that's ready to be cut off and set aside. What? I have this is pretty fine, I think. Yeah. So I'm just going to slowly turn the wheel and cut under so it doesn't go flying off. And then because it has air on the inside of it and it's totally enclosed, I can pick it up gently just with my hands like that and set it aside.